Hey, what's up, Blake? Quick demo video for you for your custom saber by Nevin over at Space Junk Sabers. And I will try to make the light a little bit better so you can see what's going on here. As you know by my posting, I just got this done today. I've been working on it for a couple days, and there's a lot of stuff going on with this guy. So on top of the saber, which is really cool, you had me etch the shrouds for you. So you wanted kind of like a corroded Jedi symbol. I tried to do that on both shrouds. And then you wanted the Sith, some Sith writing in the background. So that is actually the Sith code on both shrouds, written in the ancient Sith text. That's what we did there. And then I weathered it with some aluminum black so that it matched the saber, because the saber has a nice contrast of bare aluminum and some weathering. So hopefully you like what happened there. CCSabers LEDs in here for your main PCB. You've got a crystal chamber reveal, which I'll show you here in a second, and then 2-button setup, and they're under the clamp card. You gotta press them a little bit, right? So your activation's right here, and your auxiliary is in the back, and I'll show you that here in a second. But to get to everything, what you want to do is you want to unscrew the handle. This handle has a very small ID, or inner diameter. So your chassis, this is a 0.98 inch chassis, 0.98 inch diameter chassis, very tiny. So what we've got here is your battery compartment, spring size, your negative, your Proffie board right here. It is a snap fit down into the shelf, but I put this little piece in the chassis for art tape. And because the chassis is so small, I went ahead and I put that art tape over your board. So you can see how that assists in holding the board down over time if you keep popping this guy up and down and it loses the snap fit. You do have a 24mm speaker back here, Smuggler's Outpost speaker, but I have this pixel accent on its own holder glued in front of the speaker so that we could light this pommel up, which is what you requested. At first I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but I was able to sneak this in there. Very low diameter, or it's a very low thickness. It's not touching the speaker drum though, so we got away with that. And then here on the bottom is a little indentation in the chassis I made to run my wires in. And although there are a lot of wires going, from the back of the chassis to the front, they're all in there very neatly. And what you don't see in the video is that there's actually a wire channel in this chassis. So those wires sit down in there, and the battery sits on top. They don't get in the way, and everything's good. Now the accent that you don't see is I put another accent in here in the switch box, and that was a very tight fit. But you have these pieces of mesh right here and right here on both sides, and we wanted to light that up, so I gave you the broken circuitry for the back of the pommel and also for the switch box on all your sound fonts. Now on that pixel accent, I couldn't face it up because it was touching the top of the box and it wasn't shining through, so I had to flip it over and make it face down so that light would actually come down. But in doing that, that light actually goes through the holes for the switches, or for the switch wires, and you'll see that on the background of your crystal chamber, even though your crystal is matching your blade, which is what you wanted. So it's got a lot going on, and I think you'll like it, right? We'll throw a battery in it. So we've got that. Now this Exegol font is the only font that you'll have where your crystal chamber is kind of pulsating when the saber is off. All the other fonts don't do that. So when you go to put this on here, it's very tight. So you want to, first of all, when you're putting the battery in, let's go over putting the battery in. You don't just want to go jamming on this chassis, right? It's a small chassis. You just want to take your time with it, kind of reinforce it with your finger or something, and when you put that battery in there, just be careful with it, just like that. It'll go in there just like that. And then when we're putting this on, it is a tight fit, but it goes, and you can just kind of twist it as you're going past the battery and everything, and then it'll go right in place. And we'll twist this all on until the handle locks all the way down, just like that. Now you've got motion controls, so you see your crystal pulsating. Now it's red because your blade is red. Nice smooth swing. You can see what I did with the box there. You can see it flashing out of the mesh. It does that on both sides. And then your pommel. So if you can see that, all that light coming out of your pommel. So we could twist off, or we could come up towards the front and hit the activation.
What could you give me? Everything.
And then your auxiliary. When you go to press your auxiliary, put a little bit of oomph in it, right? We'll go to the next sound font and I'll just show you. Now we're on Ancient Integration. I put all the sound fonts on here that you gave me. This is your blade retention. So we're going to back that out of the socket. And then we're going to put your blade in. This takes a 1-inch diameter neopixel blade. Make sure that's all the way in the socket. And then we'll come over here and we'll lock your blade retention in. Just a thumb screw, which is really nice. So now you've got this for your blade. It's mimicking that in your crystal. Pommel. Switches, right? So you got battle mode. So if you hit the blade, or if you hit the saber, you get blade lock up right here until you pull away from it. And then to get to your soundtracks on each of your sound fonts, hold down your power for 1 second and let go. And do the same thing to turn it off. Just hold down the power for 1 second and let go.
Meet a true Sith. I sense your terror.
Now you can kind of see where that broken circuitry light from your switch box is actually shining through on your crystal chamber. See that right there?
I have killed so many. They're pod racing on Malastare. Very fast, very dangerous.
Boom to champ. Yellow, kind of unstable. Yellow crystal. Blade lock up. We'll do 2 more.
I know the true power of the dark side.
Switch box looking good.
Cybernetic revolution.
Your blade slowly changes colors. So does your crystal. And then it'll change back colors. It'll go in those colors in reverse until the blade turns off, which is super cool. And then it'll just kind of fade out. And then your crystal does that as well. So we're going to unscrew your blade retention. Pull your blade out. And then we'll turn the slide back on. And then we'll just want to, that's too bright, unscrew the handle. Remember, if it's too tight on you, you don't have to shove it straight in. You can just kind of twist it and then twist it out. It is super tight. There's a lot of stuff going on in here that I had to cram in here, so I didn't waste any space. I used every bit of it that I could. So you just come in here from the positive side by your speaker. You can pop your battery right out just like that. So I got it in, pop it out just like that. And then we'll take your handle, twist her back on, and lock it down for safekeeping. And that, sir, is your Saber. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, we'll try to get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks.